just off Memorial on Heritage Park Drive. You can contact us at 890-2233.
It makes sense to get help with your taxes. Call 890-2233 for an appointment.
We are proud to support all Rutherford County student athletes.
Craig's Tax Service, 890-2233.
It's the Prentice Allsup Heating and Air Coach's Corner, fueled by Donut Country and McDonald's on 1019, 100.5, 1450, WGNSSports.com and Big G TV.
The Coaches Show is brought to you by the law offices of John Day, providing superior legal representation to injury victims and their families. Find out more at johndaylegal.com. Danny Brewer back with you. I'm better than a bologna sandwich right now because I got Matt Kriesky, the head football coach of Blackman High School. Coach Kriesky, how are you this morning?
Doing great. Glad to be here. Glad to working and still preparing for a game next week.
Right, yeah, because first round of the playoffs, 24-9, beat Gallatin on Thursday night. So let's talk a little bit about the Thursday night deal. I understand why you did it, whether completely agree with that. Did that change things a lot for you when that was, because I know that was probably like a Tuesday or Wednesday decision?
Tuesday afternoon, Gallatin coach called, and we were just talking about it, throwing some ideas out there. He called back right before we went on the practice field and said, let's do it. And he had one stipulation, if we could push it back to 7:30. So you're looking at 3:30, you're walking on the practice field. After practice, you're telling kids we're going to practice Wednesday morning. You're going to play a Thursday night game at 7:30 when you played every game, the past 10 games at 7 o'clock. So that's with some change. Was I a little concerned? I was, because you never know how these teenagers are going to handle it. But I told the kids they got to go through the same thing. So we, practice. I thought we had a decent practice Tuesday. Not bad Wednesday morning. I thought we came out defensively came out pretty strong. Offense struggled in the first half, but turned it on in the second half, and that's. I told the kids after the game, you get a win. No matter how you get a win this time of year, it's always good. So I'm glad that I got up watching film this morning, making a travel plan to Dobbs Bennett, and it's great. It's a good time to be ablaze.
So let's talk a little bit about the second season here, because basically it's survive and advance. That's all you want to do, right?
Yes. You got to find a way to win, no matter how it is. They're all not at this time of year. They're all not going to be pretty. I told the kids after the game, from here on out, we're playing some pretty good teams. Dobbs Bennett was number one in their region. They've only lost one game this year, I believe. And we see them on film. They're huge up front. I mean, they're big up front. They're physical. They got a quarterback who can run the ball well. He also can throw it. They got a receiver, number one. Watched him last night, and he's a big guy. Body type kind of reminds me of Ethan Carson, who we had last year.
So, Coach, let's talk a little bit about the Gallatin game. 3-3 at the half. Halftime message because obviously you guys were heavily favored in that game because you're Blackman, and no discredit to Gallatin, but Blackman is Blackman, and you've been Blackman all year long. So tell me a little bit about the message at halftime when you're tied 3-3.
Tell the kids we have 24 minutes that are guaranteed. That's all we have guaranteed right now. Money practice is not guaranteed. We have 24 minutes that are guaranteed. How are we going to handle it? Tell the defensive guys, keep doing what you're doing. Don't get frustrated with the offense. We're going to come out and make some plays. And I called out Javion. I told Javion. Didn't have a great first half. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't a Javion Elliott type of first half. I looked at him and told him we believe in you, Javion. We have your back. We know that you're going to come out and do what you're supposed to do, and he did. Rushed for 60 yards in the second half. Into the game with 67 yards passing. That's part of being a quarterback in this area, in this league. You got to know how to handle it, and the way he responded is how you want a quarterback to respond. So really proud of him, and I'm really proud of how we came out. We were flat. Our energy on the sideline was not good. The kids, we came out, and once we scored, it was the team that I've seen all year, and I guess that's what we needed. We needed that touchdown, that little spark to get us going. So we scored, and then it affected the defense. They started playing even better. So just everything kind of trickled down and going our way in the second half.
So Javion Elliott, I want to touch on him just a little bit. Very dynamic quarterback, dual threat, like you said. He did have 167 yards passing, 6 yards rushing. I think 10 yards a carry is what he averaged rushing the football. Absolutely a dual threat. What he does for your offense is pretty incredible. Talk about that a little bit.
It's what he does is great. He's able. They have to defend all 11. They're not trying to game plan against 10 guys. The quarterback is just going to stand there. They got to defend Javion because with what he can do with his legs. I believe it was a third, and I'm not mistaken, it was maybe a 3rd and 12, a 3rd and 15, and he picked up a first down. A 30-yard game for us that put us inside the red zone, and then we ended up scoring off that drive, and that was huge. And the thing about him is he doesn't really get rattled. He's calm, doesn't get upset, and so he the way he responded in the second half is what I wanted to see, and I knew he could do that, and I'm proud of him for how he handled it, and and then yesterday Friday came into school, we got our lift in, we watched film, and and he knew, first thing he came up to me, his head was down, and I said, "What, Javion?" He said, "I didn't play well." I said, "We won the game. Yes, you didn't play 2 quarters well, but you played the 3rd and 4th quarter well. So that's what we need to need. At times he's probably these kids, 15, 16, 17-year kids are probably a little too hard on themselves at times, and that's not what they need to be. I want them to have fun. I want them to enjoy the game. We won a first-round game at home, and so let's be happy with that, and let's start working towards Dobbs Bennett."
So, Coach, talk a little bit about the defense, because I know the offense has been pretty dynamic. You've put a lot of points up. But talk about the defense and how your defense has played all year, because you've been pretty dead good on that side of the football as well.
Yeah, our defense, James Stewart, Tramel Johnson, Jarrison Daniel, Trey Thornton, I can go on and on, Emory Harris, about these guys on defense and what they do, how aggressive they are, physical. They're students of the game. They study the game. They know what our opponent's going to do. I was talking with Coach Crosby last night during the Dobbs Bennett game, and he already had some defensive guys messaging him, talking about things that we can do to probably, hopefully, expose and get after Dobbs Bennett next week, and that just says a lot, man. These guys, live and breathe football, and they're a fun group to be around. High energy at all the time. They make practice fun each and every week.
So talk a little bit about the physical approach. You mentioned that, and of course that's one of those things that I think is absolutely key in football, especially in this area.
Yeah.
When you think about the district that you play in, the physical approach of these boys.
Yeah, it's something that during practice we've got to scale back, because these guys are so physical that we don't want to hurt each other. About 2 weeks ago, I told the guys, I said, we're going into our ninth game of the year, and y'all trying to kill your teammates. We've got to make it to Friday. This tournament, we got to make sure that everyone's healthy on Friday. They don't like it on days when I say we're tagging off, because that's not them. That's not what our defense is about, and that, as a coach, that's what you absolutely love. When you have to tell your defense you need to scale back and tag off, and they get mad about it. It's fun because that's who we are, and that's what we want to be, a type of defense, and it's and the way they approach practice, and the way they want to practice each and every day. Going into Rockville, we probably had one of our most physical team practices. I basically had to end it because it was getting so physical, and some of our starters were getting in on scout team offense just to go against our defense. When you have that type of team trying to be that physical on a Wednesday practice, man, you got a good group of guys.
So when you got kids that can run and then they love to hit, that's a match made in heaven, isn't it?
Yes, and competitive. You got guys that are competitive, and coaches get upset. When kids say they want the ball, they want this, but our kids want the ball because they want to show what they can do, and their talents. Are not doing it to be selfish, because they want it's not about them. They want to help the team win. They want to find a way team win. Jabari Kemp, he wants the ball because he knows that he can help the team win. Brylan Odor wants to touch the football because he knows that he can help Blackman football win a game.
So you mentioned Dobbins Bennett. That's your next opponent. The bracket. This is the first year where they've kind of changed things up, because it used to be, second round, you was going to knockheads most likely with a district opponent.
With Riverdale,
exactly. Yeah, with Riverdale. That's what it would have been last year's bracket, and for many years that was how they did. Agree or disagree with the change of the bracket, or do you want to give me any kind of opinion on that? Because I know there's pros and cons both ways.
Yeah, I mean, we're not having to see somebody in our region again. Last year at this time we were preparing to play Riverdale again. We're playing an opponent that I don't know. I tried to look it up yesterday. I don't know if Blackman's ever played Dobbs Bennett. I worked on a itinerary from starting at 7:45 in the morning and ending at around 2:45 a.m. on Saturday morning for Friday. So it's something different. It's a challenge. We're going to be together as a team from about 7 o'clock in the morning until 3 o'clock in the morning on the next day. So it's something different. It's a neat experience. It's almost like a college experience for most of these guys. We have not, since I've been at Blackman, have not traveled like this. So we're gonna feed them. We're gonna feed them breakfast, feed them lunch, feed them dinner, and feed them after the game. The expenses, it's going to be an expensive trip, but overall it's neat. We don't have to see Riverdale, we don't see Oakland, we don't have to see somebody in our region who we see each and every year, and plus the playoffs. There's the pros and cons, but I think it's going to be a fun trip for not only for our players but for our fans. To go somewhere different.
Absolutely right. So for the record, Blackman is 1-0 lifetime against Dobbins Bennett, if my statistics are correct.
I should have known you would have had the stat.
Well, I got him from somebody else. Because I
want you to take credit for it. Don't give it to anybody else.
So I'm going to take credit for this. We're going to talk about horse racing. Epic Ride runs today in the River City handicap at Churchill Downs. Epic Ride. He won the Mint Millions back at Kentucky Downs back in the 1st of September. The Epic Ride you're on right now, this is part of it, because this is something where you mentioned this. This is a memory maker right here.
Yeah.
When you think about, we're going to Dobbins Bennett, is it in Kingsport, Tennessee, which is like right there on the Virginia line? Is that right?
Yeah, it's Kingsport. And these kids, there's going to be these kids that are going to remember this trip for a lifetime. From what we do and how we travel, we're going to do a walkthrough at Carson Newman. We appreciate Coach Ingram being open to that and taking care of us, and so it's going to be a fun, neat experience for all the guys, for our coaches, for our players, for our parents, and it's going to be fun, and we're going to go down there. We're going to travel. We're going to get on a bus. We're going to travel 5 hours. We're not going to make an excuse at all, and we're going to come out at 7 o'clock Eastern time, and we're going to be ready to play football.
So if you want to continue this epic ride you're on right now, because it's been a great season. Been a fantastic season for Blackman football. To continue this epic ride, what's the biggest thing you want to see from your team when you go to Dobbins Bennett?
I would like to see offensively. I would like to see us start out in the first half and play better. I know we had some nerves on Thursday, but I would like to see the kids start out fast, how we did in the previous 2 games. And attack Dobbs Bennett because they're going to be they're going to be physical. We have a tough challenge Friday night. So I want us to match their physicality. I think maybe we may have a little advantage on speed wise. So I'm hoping that we can take advantage in that. But you can tell they're a well coached football team. And so I hope that we handle the travel well. I hope we handle the change in schedule well, and then come out at 7 o'clock ready to play.
When you think about all of that, wrap it up. Do these kids put the Rutherford County flag on? Are they flying the Rutherford County flag in their hearts to know that, hey, look, we're going to East Tennessee. We're going to show these boys what Middle Tennessee's got. Yeah,
and you hear it from Coach Kriesky will tell you this, my brother will tell you this, every coach in the county will tell you this. Our kids want, as bad as say, they want Oakland to win, they want Riverdale to win, because they know that we are the brand of football in the state of Tennessee and what we represent. And I'll say this about Rockville, because we played them a week ago. I would put on that they would have played somewhere Friday night and they could have won a football game. That's how impressed I was with them a week ago. And so I think as coaches, yes, we're real competitors, but at the end of the day, we want to see our county succeed and our county to do well in the playoffs, to show who we are and what type of football. Because anytime that anyone lines up against anyone in our county, they know it's going to be a physical football game.
Coach, I can't let you go without talking about the youth program at Blackman, because that's what's got you part of where you're at right now, and that's what the pride of football in Middle Tennessee, because it starts with the little kids. So talk a little bit about the youth program at Blackman and what that's done for you guys.
Oh man, it's amazing. Coach Nate's going to probably at the championship games right now, but this guy right here next to me, he plays. Can't say enough about his coaching staff and what Coach Austin and that group has done for my son. You see it. You see these guys bleed Blackman football from the time they're 6, 7, 8 years old, all the way, the guys that play all the way through high school, and how they want to be a Blackman Blaze. And what I say about Nate, there's been 3 or 4 times this year at our home games, Nate texts me and says, "Hey coach, I got 50 to 100 guys that are going to come to the game. We'll take care of y'all later." And no, you don't have to take care of us. Just getting those guys there to the games on a Thursday night, on a Friday night, means a lot. And seeing those guys, those kids, whenever I go over to elementary school, wearing the Blackman youth jerseys, and then you see them at Coach Hillis and what they're doing at the middle school. It's just, I've said it on here numerous times, and we're at a 6A high school, but it's a small town feel, a small town community feel when you see it, especially when you see our homecoming and homecoming activities and what we do. During the year, and how every school is, it's when you say we are Blackman, the principals, the administration, the whole community understands that and knows what it means when we say we are Blackman.
The fire is burning bright over there, so I'm going to challenge the Blackman community right now, just like I did with Rudolph. Get on the bus.
Yes.
And get on over there to Kingsport, Tennessee, because we want to continue to carry the flag. And go on over there and support Blackman football, because it's going to be a fantastic football game. And Coach Kriesky, we certainly appreciate your time. Wish you the best of luck.
Thank you. Their media guys last night on the radio said Blackman will not have 200 fans at the game Friday night. So yes, I challenge our Blackman community, our Blackman family. Please get in a car, drive 5 hours. You're going to see an exciting game Friday night, and come out and support these young men that's having a great year.
Yeah, so 200 plus. So, yeah, we're going to whoop the butts in the stands and whoop the butts on the football field. Coach Kriesky, appreciate your time, man.
Thank you for having me on.
The Coaches Show is brought to you by Parks Auction Company. Let their team of experienced and professionally trained staff utilize the auction process to sell your property. Find out more at parksauction.com.
Is your car running like a dream, or does it need a little TLC? At Dr. Automotive in Smyrna, we treat your vehicle like it's one of our own. Let's hear what some customers have to say about Dr. Automotive.
Been coming to them ever since he opened up. Good family. I recommend other people to get them repaired here because I knew they would do it and do it right. Been happy to send people to him because I trust what he does.